Christian Hahn. Hahn through Portal, gets it to it, John, oh, goes wide and out! And that's how quickly it can go wrong. He's some work to do as another car goes off and flying into the dust and dirt as he goes through. Yeah, well, that's the corner I was talking about, Salvage, and he just got out of shape there, and I think he was just going a little too fast for his own good there, and as he came to the left-hander, ran at turn 1 here. You can see through the gearbox, up to 6 for a moment, and then dropping down 2-second gear as somebody else goes wide and onto the dust for a moment, but the happened, I wonder, as we go on board as a replay. Ahead of him is the number 47, that's Kevin Anders, and he gets tapped there. So Anders, the American, alongside Neubauer, and as they dive into the next left-hander, yeah, Kevin is still there, and that's what unsided Neubauer and spun him round. No damage, I don't believe, to the Frenchman. And as you can see, just adjust the mirror. De Ruvela under pressure now from Anam Ahmed. And oh, they're both off! And they're both out of this race. Onto the grass. It looks as though Ahmed will get back out on truck and right suspension. Here's another look at what happened. Up the inside went Ahmed. And, well, to be fair, De Ruvela just spun it round in front of Ahmed, and Ahmed just hit the side and therefore broke the system. Everybody's got to stay calm. And, oh, and as I say that, somebody goes off into the dirt. It could be Armstrong. It is Armstrong. Armstrong is off. The man who won race 1, and they come. Jostling for position. And, oh, Armstrong again involved. And Marcus Armstrong. Now, let's take a look at the replay. Armstrong jigs to the inside at the hairpin. And nice and smoothly done, but Blackstock, I think, was still on the outside. Yes, he was. And that's where his wing was clipped. So more trouble for Armstrong. Here's Blackstock's view. Look, he just turns in, and really no real fault of Shelby Blackstock. He was just turning his corner. No, he's still in the thick of it. Oh, and round goes number 12. That's the boy from Brazil, from Sao Paulo. And Christian Hahn spins out, and so too does Nya. But Nathan got a perfect view of it. Cars going everywhere. But he just takes great avoiding action on board here with Simanya. And yeah, he too on his own. So 2 separate incidents there at the same corner. Very important race 3, the last race here at Christchurch. And out goes the Russian. That's Nikita Ashtoshkin. Yeah, he just outbraked himself. He was very wide with so many incidents. Here's another look. Blackstock, in fact, nudging the back of Andres early as they exited the last corner, and then as they weave to get position, Blackstock slams into the back of Andres, and that puts him out. So there'll be damage also to Blackstock's car, I'm sure. And that has brought us back to this situation where we will restart under acceleration towards the carousel. Boom! Hits the back of Nathan, damages his rear wing, and in the process goes out and damages the side of Harry Hayek. They're side by side as they exit the last corner, and they touch! Oh, they're both out! And is there damage to Armstrong's car? Well, he's not going anywhere. Broken right suspension. Harry Hayek. Well, here's what happened. Around the outside goes Armstrong, but quite rightly, Hayek kept his foot in, took the line, and let's just see, yeah, they touch, and really racing incident. No fault, certainly, of Harry Hayek. He was on his line. The session marred by a heavy crash involving Lewis Leeds of Australia. The stewards are investigating that start. 3 cars under investigation, including the poleman Thomas Randall, De Ruvela and Hayek. The corner. Here's another look at Habsburg's start. Yes, you can see from the revs, he bogs right off the line. Away goes Piquet and Verschoor. And then Ahmed got a very good start. Leach gets ahead of Habsburg, as you'd expect, but then he touches Leach. Leach then touches Habsburg, and all 3 of them off and out of this race. And I would have to say that Ahmed was the cause of the original incident coming round the outside. Not a lot of room there. And sure enough, comes together with Leach. Here's a look from Ahmed. He did get a good start, but you can see, look, goes to the outside of Leach, behind Piquet, and you can see the water as he comes across just slightly. That's all it was. Touches Leach. Leach then touches Habsburg, and it's wrong. So that crash at the start is somebody going wide there. That's Harry Hayek. American upside down. Here's what happened. He goes into the loop and just aquaplanes off. It wasn't that fast an accident yet. Just gets into the gravel. That slows him down even more. Here's another look. And just rolls gently to Harry Hayek in front of him also did the same. So the water is so bad that they're aquaplaning off. There's a big puddle that goes across the track there, and as conditions worsen in the Southern Loop in the previous race, here's another look at what happened. Lewis leads, dives up the inside at the elbow. Well, he does like that move, doesn't he, Lewis? Corey Enders will soon find out. Here it is from Enders' point of view. Enders turns in on his line, and whoa, yes, very aggressive. Lewis leads up the inside, just taps Enders, and at the elbow, that's all it takes. Looking so good. Here he is coming into the elbow. Just gets a wheel on the paint there. It locks up the front right, and he runs out of road, quite literally. And what a show. But the rain has started to come in again, and oh no! Aquaplaning off goes Habsburg from second. The conditions getting worse and worse, and it's catching the drivers out. But let's have a look. Yeah, he goes over the puddle just there, and there is no traction whatsoever. And into the gravel at the Southern Loop. And really, Habsburg was just a passenger then, and he did. This is all about, and off goes the 26. That's Harry Hayek. Gathers it all together. Here's what happened. And he is still quite high and wide, but he keeps to the racing line. And as he exits, yeah, just gets a little slip there, but he also might have been unsighted by the number 47, that's Andres, who was Tivan Andres. Here we are. Yeah, he was on the inside, and he lost traction well early, slid off the track. Christian Hahn goes wide at the exit of the Southern Loop, just got two wheels onto the grease and wet. Around the outside goes Deruvela. Leach is on the inside, Deruvela on the outside, and Leach hits Deruvela, and Deruvela is out of race one. Meanwhile, Randall, Leach going wide at turn two, and several cars off and into the gravel. After then, let's have a look at what happened to Deruvela. Well, Leach just tapped him from behind, but to be fair, Leach, let's have a look at his start, was on the inside, got behind Randall. It was a brilliant start by the Kiwi, and really he did nothing wrong. And that's just a racing incident. Here's Hayek's incident at turn two, for sure, going up the inside, and he follows into the gravel, La Liberté and Habsburg, and behind him, Christian Hahn involved in another incident, Norbauer running out of road, they touch, Hahn goes off, Lestoshkin in front, and all three are out. And here's Randall at turn three, he comes out of two, gets a little bit of oversteer, and then look, runs out of road, somehow gathers it all together, but that was a lucky moment for the Australian. Gathers some momentum, round the outside, he's gone very wide, and he has gone off the track and into the grass. He keeps his foot in, and Leach somehow saves it, just into five. Leach wide again, and into the gravel again. What a nightmare start by Brendan Leach. And very wide indeed goes Christian Hahn again. On board with Christian Hahn. Here's what happened. Yeah, he had, I think he was sighted by somebody on the inside, Hayek or perhaps on the inside. And this could be a really good opportunity for Ferdinand Habsburg. Here is the off with Vajda Nathan. You can see it here. He comes together with, I think, Thomas Norbauer behind him. Just got a slight touch, but that's how quick it can go wrong here in the Toyota Racing Series. Here's a look at it from Norbauer's point of view. He did nothing wrong. He just dived into turn one, turning in, and yep, another racing incident. Armstrong's there. Piquet's through. Great racing. Oh no, for sure. And Armstrong have come together. See, Armstrong is out of this race. Here's another look at what happened. Piquet goes through, and well, for sure, it wasn't intentional play. Armstrong was very, very fast on the outside. Either way, of Corey Enders and Brendan Leach having a weekend he'll want to forget. And Enders just got out of shape at the exit of two. Then Leach hit the grass for a moment, and as he came back on, well, again, another racing incident similar to the Vachon Armstrong moment. But to be fair, Leach just didn't brake in time and ran into Enders, who was a passenger by then. A third car involved. Piquet trying to hang on to a podium. He's gone slightly wide at five, and even wider now, and onto the dirt and into the dust he goes as they come through four for the first time. Good start. Oh no! Drama at the back, and Habsburg involved. Let's take a look at what happened. Here's Cockington's view. Habsburg has to brake earlier than he wants because Ahmed and Vachor are right in front of him, and Cockington has nowhere to go but over the top of Habsburg. Enders, likewise, hits the back of Hayek, and he too involved in this incident. 3 cars out, probably damage to several others. And look at Hayek taking great avoiding action. He's ever been on oversteer at a 9-0, up into the air goes Armstrong, and through goes Leach. And it looks as though he's pulled it off. And there you see 2 wheels in the air for Armstrong. He just got around the outside, but it is going to be Piquet from La Liberté. Randall's there. Piquet got off the line the best. And there was trouble at the back as well. And I think involving, yes, this man, Corey Enders. Yes, Simon Yao gets bogged down. And look, it breaks the suspension of Corey Enders. He can't catch a break, can he, the poor American? Well, another race that won't be completed by Corey Enders. Weidenathan gets hung out to dry by the American Kevin Endres and runs out of road, has to take to the grass, but recovers behind Lestoshkin. Collapsed wing as we go on board. And what happened? Yeah, he just gets tapped from behind by Cockington. It's just not turning out first time in 2017. If Randall can pull this off. And Cammy goes wide, and this is that opportunity I was talking about. A mistake by Cammy La Liberté last year, and we'll go back to the German F4 Championship. Oh no, La Liberté goes off at 4 and into the gravel, and I think he just took his eye off the ball there. He was looking at the back of Randall's car. Happened, yep, sure enough, Hayek getting too hot through 9, and that spins him around on side, and the American keeps his foot in. Great racing again. Here's another look at the start. Armstrong did very well at the start, came across and just got in front of Daruvula. Now here's what happened to Corey Enders. He jigs to the middle of the track and then hits Snorbauer and gets touched twice, and as you can see, the suspension's gone. Weidenathan's view of it, yeah, he just gets squeezed in there and bangs Habsburg, trying to turn around his weekend. He was involved in that incident, and Vachor goes wide. Oh, big battle. And talking of Aussies, here comes Randall on Habsburg. And oh, they touch for a moment there. And Piquet's ready to pick up the piece. Armstrong are pulling away, and I think Randall's getting frustrated. Well, he is getting frustrated. Look at that. Side by side for a moment. And they took battles with Vachor. Not close enough this time. Oh, Vachor gets sideways. He's got their motivation. Piquet coming off a poor season. On by side through 3. Here comes Leach. He's going to push on. The Dutchman and goes onto the grass. Well, Richard, he's got it. And back on board, and that's too high and wide for Thomas Norbauer, and he goes off onto the grass. As they're side by side, these two, and something's got to give. And Lewis Leeds keeps his foot into the touch. Oh, no! No! And what a disaster. Brendan Leach involved. 3 cars. Andres and Lewis Leeds come together, and Leach is launched into the air and pirouettes in a double somersault. Watch this. Oh, dramatic scenes. And luckily that Tatus chassis, very strong indeed. Here's what happened. He had nowhere to go. And then it's sky ground. And hopefully everybody out okay. Here's what happened again. Andreas just touching Lewis Leeds as he turned in. And Kivian Andres and Lewis away past Hayek, but he can't get through, and Hayek, though, can't turn in. Hayek left high and wide, guts onto the marbles, gets oversteer, and off he goes. Harry, ball of dust. Here's another look at it. Watch, yeah, oversteer there, and I think he's just on the dirty part of the circuit, and definitely wider than he should have been. But then again, he couldn't turn in, but clean start. And it is going to be Richard Vachor. No! Randall goes off. Oh, disaster. Number 60 Ahmed, is somebody else going off, and oh, big off. And that's Corey Enders out. Great work from the cameraman. Superb stuff. American from Houston. And here's what happened. Corey Enders going into turn 1, the Toyota curve. And he gets unsighted and just couldn't brake because he would have gone into the back of Weidenathan, I think. That was a big off. And then here's what happened to Christian Hahn. Yeah, he just gets sandwiched there, coming together, loses the front wing, and that tucks underneath the car. And that's what to a halt. Here we go again. Yeah, he touched the back of Enem Ahmed. It might have given him a punch-up by the looks of things. Habsburg tries to take advantage, but in the meantime takes his wing. Cockington saw it all. Oh, and Cockington, Taylor Cockington, to be a little too precarious. Here's another replay. Hayek just T-boning La Liberté, the Canadian. And La Liberté at Higgins. Off they go. 6 of one, half a dozen the other. Hayek locked up. La Liberté was also not where he wanted to be, and they just came together. And to be fair, you've got to put the blame on Hayek on that one, because La Liberté was on, well, he was in the middle of the circuit, and Hayek just locked himself up. Hampton definitely not going as quick as he'd like. Oh, and he almost banged into the back of him at the hairpin. Got good drive there. Now he's got a chance. He comes along the back wheel of Habsburg. They're side by side as they head down towards Higgins again. This would be unbelievable if he can pull this off. Cockerton's not done either. Randall round the outside at Higgins. Has he got the drive? He's there. He's right there. They're side by side. He's got him, has he? Just about. They touch for a moment. And Habsburg won't give in. And if he's going to do it, he's going to have to go all the way round the outside. But there's the checkered flag for Shaw wins. And he's going to do it. Randall takes fourth. Oh, what a way to do it. From the Indian. And here's what happened. Christian Hahn out on the outside. Leeds comes together with Simon-Yao on the inside, and then leads concertinas into Christian Hahn, and the poor Brazilian does a samba he wasn't expecting to do, and into the barriers he goes. Very dramatic indeed. Here's Simon-Yao's view. Yeah, they touch. Leeds turns in. You'd have to put most of the blame on Leeds there, because Simon-Yao on his line.